Introducing Winston Hendrickson, Vice President, Products, Adobe.
Morning, everybody, and ahoy. There we go. So in our quest to express ourselves through media, our image is everything. Whether it's a more journalistic photograph or a highly imaginative work of creative imaging, our image is the center. And we live in a magical time where dramatic advances in technology and broad availability of devices are affording us almost limitless possibilities to pursue our image. And these advances are not only changing how we create, but they're also changing how we make an impact, from pursuing a unique perspective to being able to quickly connect with others, to being able to work wherever we're at. All these capabilities are all easily within the reach of nearly everyone today. In general, the more information that we capture and embed through our imaging workflow, the more creative options that we have. Computational photography refers to the techniques by which we leverage this embedded data and extend the capabilities of photography. Panoramas, HDR, light fields are all examples of computational photography. It is the math behind many stunning images. Now, the traditional areas of the workflow, capture, edit, and share, have oftentimes been siloed from each other. But advances in computational photography are breaking down these walls and opening up new creative possibilities. And we're seeing dramatic advances at each stage of the workflow. We can capture vastly more information. We're able to share immediately, and we have immense processing options. So let's start by looking at what's happening in capture. Here, aerial drones are opening up possibilities that allow impossible shots to become a reality. We're able to have our bodies go, or our eyes go where our bodies cannot follow, and the results are simply stunning. Let's take a look at some of the work that Cory Rich Productions have been doing. Cory's work with drones in general, and the specific project to capture climbers on the Trango Towers of the border of Pakistan, illustrate the incredible capabilities drones are affording photographers. Not only would this shot have been prohibitively expensive with a manned helicopter, but at 20,000 plus feet, it would have been physically impossible. So another artist that has been innovating unique ways to capture that certain perspective is Aaron Grimes. Aaron Grimes has been experimenting with the Movi motion capture system that allows videographers the freedom of motion without expensive and complex infrastructure. So here to show you the Movi system and what it can do is Aaron Grimes. Aaron?
Thank you, Winston. So the initial plan was we were going to send this video link to the screens, but I just had some technical difficulties, so I'm going to have to just demonstrate visually what this can do. This is the FreeFly Movi M5, and it is a handheld camera stabilizer. You may have seen them. It's kind of a recent technology in the last year or so, but basically it eliminates all unwanted camera shake. So I can just kind of mess up and it fixes my problems. So this is really cool for filmmakers because as a filmmaker, I would come up with these shots that I wanted to achieve, and they would be a physical impossibility because I wouldn't have the gear, I wouldn't have the 100-foot of track to do a dolly shot. But with this, I can just get stable shots with just one setup. So it's really cool, and I'm stoked that it exists because it makes my life easier, except sometimes, as you can see, the video doesn't work. But we're going to be having this at the Adobe booth for the entire show. So you guys should come on by and check it out. You can give it a try yourself, and it's really cool. So,
all right. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Winston.
Technical glitches. So be sure to come by the booth and check out what the Movi system can do. So another use of drones, Corridor Digital use drones in order to simulate what you might see in a day in the life of Superman if he had a GoPro with this recent viral video. So those are a couple of examples of capturing unique perspectives using modern technology. Now let's look at capturing more information about your photos. So one way to capture more information is to do more captures. Here, photographers have been creating innovative camera arrays and then combining multiple captures into a single result. Surf gear provider Rip Curl and filmmaker Time Slice Films have combined together to take camera arrays where they've never gone before, into the water. And using their 52 camera SLR system, they're able to provide this bullet time type effect on surfers with a simply stunning result. There's the rig, so definitely not something that you build at home. But you don't have to have an expensive rig in order to do cool effects. And in fact, Permagram Films has been experimenting with camera arrays made of GoPros to create the image like the one you just saw. Here, they're using these arrays and combining still and video together with a perspective twist in order to produce a very unique look. So if you notice there, they get the perspective shift and that little twitching that he does when he's in midair. Too bad without the audio, you can't see the writer. He leans down, looks at the camera, goes, whoo, nailed it. All right, so another way to capture more information is to capture depth about our images. Depth information is enhancing photography both in terms of expanding core image processing as well as opening up new creative options. Depth cameras first became popular for gestural interaction in gaming, such as the Microsoft Kinect. But with the options that it afforded computational photography, it started getting used to both enhance image processing, such as segmenting images, making masking far easier, to opening up new creative options, such as combining depth information with image data in order to produce a very unique look. So here you see a depth camera that's capturing the motion and capturing all the different points in terms of the depth of the image. And here, artist Mark Dorff creates a very abstract look that combines technology against nature by taking depth information from one part of the photo and compositing it onto the landscape in another and creating a very unique look. 3D is another place where depth information is coming into play. 3D is becoming more and more part of many media projects, whether it's compositing 3D models onto images as part of a virtual photo shoot, or it's creating objects that can be 3D printed into the physical world. 3D is opening up some dramatic new capabilities. Here you see a shot where real photos of fans have been composited against a 3D model of a hypothetical soccer stadium to create a stunning result. 3D scanning is a key catalyst that's fueling this work by making it easy for us to be able to scan objects in the real world and take them in and use them in our creative projects. Whether it's creating the ultimate 3D selfie, here Photoshop 3D team member Andy Latta has created a 3D printed action figure of himself, or it's Sophie Kahn's stunning pieces. The combination of 3D scanning and 3D printing is offering limitless possibilities. So now let's talk about share. These advances in technology have not only broadened our creative range, they've accelerated our creative velocity. In fact, they necessitate it. Studies have shown that the #1 predictor of engagement around our photos is immediacy. So now we all have a journalistic time pressure. The shelf life of information is getting shorter and shorter. Digital photography has completely changed how the Olympics were shot, as one example. At Sochi, photographs from photographers were being delivered worldwide on average in less than 3 minutes. Field photographers' images were transferred by Ethernet to teams of editors that would curate, crop, and tag the images and then blast them out worldwide in only minutes. AP was delivering up to 2,000 photos a day. If you compare that to pre-digital days, they were only delivering 150 photographs back with analog photography. But not everyone has the infrastructure of an Olympic sports shooter, but we all still have that same need for speed. And this has helped make mobile a first-class citizen of photography. Combining always connectedness and the ability to share immediately, mobile has increased in terms of the number of captures to 27% in the past year. I love this picture of Adobe Camera Raw team member Josh Burry in Death Valley. He's carrying his SLR. He has it out there in order to capture the richness of the desert, but he's using his mobile phone to share the immediacy of the moment. And others have found creative ways to kind of bridge the gap between quality and immediacy. So finally, let's talk about edit. I'd like to talk about the innovative ways the team at Adobe has been expanding your capabilities to be able to organize and edit. For the past 7 years, Lightroom has been your catalog. And as a result, almost 200 billion images, accounting for some 2,000 petabytes of captures, are managed by Lightroom. A petabyte is a multiple of terabytes, which is a multiple of gigabytes, which is a multiple of megabytes. It's a really big number. In recent years, we've been developing an advanced solution architecture 100% focused on images. This architecture combines our advanced photo mesh, DNG smart previews, and advanced mobile image processing to allow you to efficiently edit and organize your photos across all devices and work wherever you are. Last night, we released the first application built upon this architecture with Lightroom Mobile. Lightroom Mobile frees you of being limited working on your photos with just your desktop alone. It allows you to engage with your art across mobile, desktop, and web, wherever you are.
Introducing Adobe Lightroom Mobile. With Adobe Lightroom Mobile, your photography is going places.
Yeah, so I just got back from the shoot, and I'd love to be able to show you the photos.
Free yourself from the desktop. Edit and organize your Lightroom catalog anywhere, anytime on your iPad or iPhone.
Hey. So here are the latest shots. Why don't you take a look?
With Lightroom Mobile, you can enhance everything from smartphone photos to raw images from DSLRs using powerful and familiar tools.
So I've added this preset and bump up the exposure a bit.
Lightroom Mobile uses smart previews to edit and sync changes back to the desktop.
Here's the before and after.
You know what I'd like to see is a stronger green tone, like one of these chairs here.
Oh, okay, let me take a shot of that.
Import images from your iPhone or iPad camera roll straight into your Lightroom catalog. Lightroom Mobile automatically syncs all your mobile edits with Lightroom on your desktop. Lightroom Mobile liberates you, allowing you to lean back and enjoy the same high-performance photo management that Lightroom brings to your desktop. And you can easily email or share your photos to social media sites. Adobe Lightroom Mobile. Access, edit, organize, and share from anywhere.
So here to give you the first public demo of the recently released Lightroom Mobile is Senior Product Manager Shard Mangalet. Shard?
Thanks, Winston. Thanks, Winston. So, as the video showed and as Z and Brian demonstrated, Lightroom Mobile is raw editing on your iPad. So I'm going to just do a quick demonstration. OK, good. The iPad's up there. Let me just tap on the Lightroom icon, and I've got a series of collections here. So I'm going to just dig in, and here's a photo taken up in Healdsburg last week, and I'm just going to quickly just apply some presets. So it ships with all of the Lightroom desktop presets. So we've got 47 different presets, the same ones from Lightroom Desktop here in Lightroom Mobile. Let me just start with Punch, and then I want to refine it. So I'm going to go through and start with Auto Tone. And you can see, it's really kind of intuitive. I've got my white balance picker, set my temperature and tint, crank the contrast up a little bit. One thing, if you look up here, you'll notice that this is a Nikon NEF. So it's actually a RAW file. It's a smart preview, which is something that I created on the desktop and synced over using the Creative Cloud. So I'm just going to continue. I've got a nice histogram up here. So let me just set the black and the white point. And let's crank the clarity up a little bit. So I've made a bunch of changes to this photo. Just using 3 fingers, I can quickly get a before and after. So there's before, and there's after. So just in a couple taps on my iPad with this Nikon file, I've gone and I've kind of improved the photo. So as I make changes on my tablet, on my iPad, we're syncing the changes up through the cloud and back to my desktop. But before I switch to the desktop, since we're showing off 3D selfies, we're showing off pirate selfies, I thought I'd take an iPad selfie up here. And let me see if I can get this right. See if I can get Winston in the photo. Looks OK, right? Yeah. I don't even know if I'm looking at the camera on there. But so one of the challenges is, it's always tough to bring photos that you take with your devices back to the desktop. So if I click into this collection, that photo, wow, that's a terrible photo. But that photo is now on my iPad in Lightroom Mobile. Let's just make a quick, make some edits to it, All right. Looks a little better, but you guys get the point. If I switch back to the desktop, all of those changes that I made, so here's that first photo, switch, full screen. All of those changes that I made, I didn't hit a sync button, I didn't do anything, I just made edits on the iPad. They've synced back through the Creative Cloud down to my desktop. Let me switch back over to this collection, and that awesome photo that I just took, that selfie, is now on my desktop organized with all of my other photos. So now photos that I take with my iPad or edits that I make on my iPad, I can organize, I can edit raw photos, and I've got that seamless sync back to the desktop, so everything is always kept in the same place and organized.
Thanks, Shard.
Thank you.
So there you have it, Lightroom Mobile, allowing you to expand your workflow beyond your desktop and efficiently organize and edit your photos across mobile, desktop, and web. This is the first application of this architecture that we built, and it's the first step in a journey toward empowering your photography through connected creativity. We'll be releasing additional capabilities building upon this beginning as we move forward. And because Lightroom Mobile is part of Creative Cloud, it means that the 40% of you that are here today that have Creative Cloud, you have it already. So go to the App Store, download Lightroom Mobile. So go to the App Store, download Lightroom Mobile, upgrade to Lightroom 5.4, sync a collection, and give it a spin. For the rest of you, we're still offering our $9.99 promo that combines the power of Photoshop, the power of Lightroom, and now the power of Lightroom Mobile for only $9.99 a month. So now there's no reason not to expand your workflow beyond the desktop and go create something great. Thank you, everybody.